Black people. Black people. Yes, I'm talking to you, black people. When are we going to get it? When are you going to get it? Oh, my damn. When you going to get it? Everybody sitting up here, people talking about Kaepernick sold out. People talking about, you know, gotta stop wearing Gucci. Gotta boycott this one and boycott that one. When you gonna get it? Y'all just keep missing it. You keep missing it. And it, quite frankly, it's getting on my freaking nerves that you keep on missing it. So let me see if I can explain it to you, because oh my damn, black people, you're not getting it financially. Ugh. Damn. Whew. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and if you find me for the first time, then I want to appreciate you going on here. I got to do my appreciation first, because I'm about to get all into my rant, so I got to give you my appreciation. I appreciate all my Patreon. I appreciate all the followers, subscribers, people on Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Thank you, 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 thank you. And yeah, those people who order from Uncle Renz Popcorn, I appreciate you. People who order from alchemypopcorn.com, I appreciate you too. So let me get that out. Let me get that out. All right. So, let me be civil. Colin Kaepernick. Everybody was down for Colin Kaepernick. We ain't gonna say everybody, but a lot of black people, y'all down for Colin Kaepernick. Gonna boycott the NFL, gonna boycott this and boycott that. Y'all black love to boycott. Love to boycott some shit, but then don't really boycott. But love to talk about boycott. So let me rephrase that. Love to talk about boycotting, but don't really boycott, right? But let's see what happened here. Colin Kaepernick, for 2 years he's fighting the NFL. 2 years he's out of work. 2 years. Yes, he got a contract from Nike. Keep on paying him. He had the contract from Nike before all this started, and he had the contract for Nike to be able to keep some money coming into his household. And then that new football league offered him some money to play in the league, but he didn't take it. He didn't take it. He wanted $20 million is what they say. It's what they say. He wanted $20 million. Now let's quantify that. The average person in that league, you're making about $100,000. $100,000. They wanted Colin Kaepernick to come in and legitimize their league, but only want to offer him $100,000. The same $100,000 everybody else get. This is Colin Kaepernick. This is somebody on the main screen. I don't know one player in this new league, and that's nothing against these young men. I hope they make it to whatever they're striving to make it to. But Colin Kaepernick, a known name. This is just like when Herschel Walker. See, some of y'all ain't old enough to remember. Herschel Walker went to I think it was called I forgot what it's called. It was a different whole nother league of football, and he was a top player, and he legitimized that league for a short period of time. And Herschel Walker went there. Yeah, it didn't work out as well for him. It took him a while before he came back to the NFL. Then he was playing. I think he played for Dallas, but he missed his best years playing in this other league. But here's the thing: Colin Kaepernick wasn't going for that. They offered Herschel Walker a ton of money to go play in that league. They ain't offer him a ton of money to go play in this new league. So he was right to not take it. What if he go out there and get hurt for $100,000? This is a top tier quarterback, a quarterback who can replace a good number, every damn backup quarterback. He can replace every damn backup quarterback in the league right now. I can't think of one backup quarterback that's, you know, like head and shoulders above him. There's some that's right there with him, but not head and shoulders above. No. And he can replace many of the current first string quarterbacks. So why would he go and legitimize another league for $100,000? That's stupid. That's dumb. That don't make no damn sense. Plus, he's fighting this battle with the NFL. Now, if you guys have watched any time the NFL, when they fought, when Zeke Elliott, when Tom Brady, when all these people had grievances with the NFL will keep fighting you until you either quit or they win. They don't settle. They hardly ever. Owner moved you can't move your team. Moved his team. The NFL sued his butt. NFL don't play. All right, they don't play with giving up their money and bowing down to nobody. They don't like bowing down to nobody. But they settled. They settled for collusion. Do you know how hard it is to prove collusion? It's damn hard to prove collusion. But they settled. They settled for undisclosed amount. Yes, now he has a gag order. He can't talk about it. He can't talk about the deal. He can't. I don't know if he can still kneel. If he gets, somebody gonna pick him up. But I don't know if he can still kneel. I don't know. We don't know all the deets of it. But here's the thing: they settled. They settled. Why? We gotta look at why they settled. Why did the NFL settle? Let me tell you why the NFL settled. Now Shannon Sharp said that they settled for having a guilty conscience. That's what it means when you say, you settle, you're saying that I'm not guilty, but my conscience is guilty. He said they settled for that. That ain't why he settled. They settled because they realized a couple of things. Let me tell you what they realized. A couple of things. Black people buy NFL paraphernalia and black people buy tickets. They saw a decline. This Super Bowl the ratings were down. All right. The NFL has not been making as much money over the last 2 years. And black people's consumerism is proof positive of that because they lost some money. Now, did they lose enough money to shut them down? Did they lose enough money to make these people poor? No, hell no, they ain't losing enough money. But if they went to court and then you got to go through this long, dragged out court process where everybody's constantly being reminded of why he was kneeling. Now, if you think about it, over the last year, you haven't been constantly reminded why he was kneeling. That stuff was all over the news in the first year that he started doing it. He couldn't work. They got cut. It was all over the news first year. Why Colin Kaepernick did sports, ESPN, all them channels, they were talking about him all the time. They ain't been talking about him that much over the last year, right? Because new stuff happened. The news cycle keeps moving. But they realize that if they go to court, all this stuff got to get drug up. Owners got to get on there and they got to give depositions. They got to talk and they got to put this information in the public of what happened, who said what. There's no smoking gun, but the smoking gun really is black people are going to be brought back to the awareness that they originally had if this thing go to court. And they realize how much money they lost by black people not supporting the NFL as much as they supported before. Did black people go to football games? Yes. Did some black people still buy jerseys and stuff? Yes. But enough black people stopped that it made the NFL take notice, and they realized that if this thing go to court and it drags out for another year, 2 years, 3 years, how much money, they quantify how much money they're going to lose. Black people don't get it. You think Gucci give a damn about the fact that they put the little, I'm gonna put it right here. They put the little thing up saying that they, with the black face. No, they didn't. You know why? It's a trick. It's a trick. They tricking your butt. They tricking you. You're not paying attention. I don't buy Gucci anyway. I don't even remember the last person I seen wearing Gucci or the last black. I don't even. Gucci's not one of them those brands that black people have been buying in droves recently, as far as I understand. But they did this because of what they see. They saw H&M do their little monkey boy shirt. They saw H&M do that, and all of a sudden everybody was outraged for a minute, but it gave H&M a whole bunch of publicity. And then what did black people do? They started running their butt into H&M. All right, these companies keep on doing things like that because they know that they're going to get that attention. And then guess what? You're going to be like, oh, I'm boycotting them. I don't want to go. I'm boycotting them. Ooh, that's a nice shirt. That's a nice shirt they got. I like that shirt. Okay, I'm going to get that shirt. And then I'm boycott them after I get that shirt right there. I'm gonna get it. I'm boycotting that belt. Oh man, I'm going out the next night and that belt gonna be hot. My gear already got that belt gonna set it up. Okay, after that belt, that's the last thing I'm getting. And then after that, I'm boycotting. Y'all don't get the economic power that black people have. Black people are some big ass consumers, and the world knows it. So these companies, they use outrage to get you to take notice. They use it all the time, and we keep falling for it. But the worst thing, we fall for that, but don't realize the true thing that happened with Colin Kaepernick. We don't realize, okay, the man took a settlement. Most court cases, most situations, most lawsuits end in settlements anyway. That's the norm. That's why lawyers love these cases, because they're going to get a 33% of whatever that settlement is. They love taking those cases. We knew it was going to be a settlement. Everybody probably knew it was going to be a settlement, and they took it. Fine. That doesn't mean Colin Kaepernick gave it. He filed the court case. He knew that there was a probability of a settlement that was coming. Why? But because the man also, he got a financial future that he got to uphold, that he got to take care of. I ain't mad at him for taking a settlement. Not at all, because what? He still brought his stance to the national national mindset. There's another word I was looking for, can't think of it. All up in my head, can't think of it. But he brought it to the national scene. The world was paying attention to how many black men and young black people were getting shot by cops. And I will say, it was a huge, it was all over the news. Like every freaking time you turn around, somebody was getting shot. But I will say this, recently, in most recent time, I haven't seen it as much. I haven't seen as many videos. Is it still happening? Yes, of course it's still happening. Do we still need to be attentive to it? Yes, we do. Do we still need to fight that fight? Yes, we do. But you haven't seen Black Lives Matter rallies going on recently. You haven't seen a whole bunch of hoopla about cops shooting young unarmed black men recently or choking men out. You haven't seen that. That hasn't been hitting the news recently. And some people are going to say, well, they're hiding it on the news. This is the world of social media. You can't hide shit. You can't hide nothing no more. So we haven't seen it as much. Not saying it's not happening. It's still happening. And we still need to be diligent about that. But look at what you got, groups popped up, watching the cops, websites and all these kind of things. It's still out there. It's still out there. But it's been brought to the national scene. Colin Kaepernick still did a great thing. Now, is he a civil rights leader and need to be propped up as a civil rights leader? Hell no. I did videos before, and I might put that up at the end of this video as one of the videos for you to click on. But does our leadership need to be athletes and entertainers? Hell no. It doesn't. Those should not be our freaking leadership in the black community, because they still are hampered by the money of the business or the government or something like that. No, our leadership needs to be grassroots, like back in the day. Not somebody who was unencumbered by having responsibilities to Nike, to the NFL, to Hollywood, to Sony, to any of these kind of entertainment companies. Entertainers should never be our leaders. They should just be backing up leaders. That's all they should be doing, right? They should be there in support of leaders, because they're always going to be concerned about maintaining their money. And then when they walk into a boardroom, 90% of the people they don't look like them that are sitting in those rooms making those deals. So hell to the no that Colin Kaepernick should be propped up. I respect him for what he did. I respect him for how he stood up. I respect him for everything he lost. So you damn right, Colin Kaepernick, to take that settlement. And you better get the lion's share of that settlement. Take that settlement and then build your financial future that you should have had just as an NFL quarterback. For all the damn years that you struggled and you was at practice and watching film and all that. Take that money, bro. I ain't got no problem with that at all, because you stood up. A lot of guys didn't stand up. A lot of guys bullshitted. I'm still pissed at Ray Lewis for his BS. I was on 2 knees because I was praying for them young fellas. Shut the hell up, man, with that bullshit. But anyway, we missing it. What we missing is the fact that black people have an economic power that we don't use. I was talking about this a little bit in my video last night in the 2 hour live chat. The fact that if black people really realize, black Americans and black people in countries that are ran by black people in Africa and in the Caribbean, if we realize how much power we really have in this world, then we can sit at the same table as the ones who are in power now. Look at what China did. China said some years ago, about 10 years ago, that by 2050, that 30% of its population is going to be millionaires. That was their goal. They realized that communism doesn't work. So, because they saw what happened to Russia. So they said, communism is not going to work. So we got to do kind of a capitalist communist thing merged up together. And they say that, and they start investing in their infrastructure, investing in their people, and they had their people go out and invest all over the world. China is a huge player in Africa, and we know that if you just watch numbers, watch economies, look at history, Africa in the next 50 years, well, actually in the next 30 years, will become a world player. It will be the place to go invest your money. If you're not getting ready, preparing yourself over the next 5 years, 10 years to get your money invested in Africa, because I'm telling you, then you're going to miss out. You are about to miss out. Because, yours truly, we looking at apartments in Africa right now. So to buy. If you're not looking that direction, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on the next wave in the next 20, 30 years of multimillionaires and billionaires that's going to be created. China realizes this, which is why they're pushing into Africa. Now, 20 years ago, was China sitting at the G6 big boy table? Hell no. There was a little boy table. It was at the kid's seat. But now China at the big boy table. Not because of their armament and their ability to fight war, but because of their money. They control money. They control finance and business. If 30% of the Chinese people become millionaires, do you know how much financial influence they will have all over the world? It will be tremendous. They will be tremendous if they have that. Black people, you can do it. We can sit at the table. We can sit at the table. If you think about all the black people who have grown up in Europe, America, somewhat South America, Australia. If you think about all the black people who've grown up in those countries, all the knowledge, the information, the access to money and power and wealth that we have, all the ability to get out in front of things. If you think about the influence that we have, look at just When I went to Germany, the longest line for any restaurant I ever saw was Bob's Soul Food, which is a black man from Atlanta who in 1972 got off the plane in Atlanta, felt the racism, got back on the plane, went back to Germany, opened up Bob's Soul Food 5 years later, and I got there in the mid-90s, and that damn line was long. Nothing but Germans in there because it was an American soul food restaurant. There were plenty of African restaurants that served similar food, but it was an American restaurant. Everything that came, every time I saw a black American open a business in Europe, it had a huge following. Now, of course, not every business succeeds. Not every person goes there and does that and it works. But I'm just telling you, it has a huge influence. Black Americans have a huge influence. You go to some African nations, black Americans have a huge influence. Y'all don't realize it. But what we do here is mimicked in other countries. So we have influence. We have a thing. We have intellectual power, intellectual influence again. So, but what does Africa have? What does the Caribbean have? They have the land. They have the land. Now, I know some of y'all going to talk about how the fact that we are indigenous to America. I don't give a shit about that, really. I really don't. I look at what the world is today and where we're going in the future. All right. So, yeah, our past is helpful to know who we are. And we should all study our history and know who our ancestors were. And that's good. But I'm not so caught up into that I can't see what's going on and where we need to move, what we need to do. We're never going to form an independent nation in America right now. Not in the next 50 years. America will have to crumble and crumble. And it will one day. All nations crumble, change at one point. But for right now, that's not the goal. Right now, in the next 20 years, I doubt if that's going to happen. But in the next 20 years, if we as black people start to invest in ourselves, invest in our businesses that are in our communities, buy and own our communities in America and Europe and Australia, if we start to do that and then start to trade with African countries, make contact with African countries and Caribbean countries like Haiti and Botswana and Ghana and Jamaica. Start working with these countries and building up their infrastructure. We go to Trinidad and Tobago and start building their infrastructure and being a part of their and trading with them and start doing that. We start circulating our dollar around the world amongst black businesses as well as black countries. Then the world will have to stop treating black people around the world like crap. Because we will have the financial power. They don't treat Chinese people ain't getting treated like crap. They got China. They got China. Damn it. They got China. They got a homeland. And then they got businesses all around the world. They building business all around the world. Chinese people just doing business all over the world. They ain't gonna mess with them. They ain't gonna mess. The more powerful China becomes, the more powerful Chinese people become, the less European powers and American powers gonna mess with them. And they're gonna keep growing because that's what the country is doing. We ain't got a country that's doing that. We got the president of Ghana. He's talking about it and he's working on it. He's doing it. He got the, hey, black Americans come back to Ghana. We'll give you some dual citizenship. We work with you. We got to get Botswana is very much open. They're very much, do you know that you ain't even got to be born in Botswana to become president? I always found that interesting. I'll make a run. I don't know. But anyway, the point is we ain't getting it. We ain't getting it. We want to say, oh, Colin Kaepernick, he's getting his money now, so he ain't down for the fight. Y'all missing the point. Missing the point. The NFL said, damn, we noticed that black people, they make up a good percentage of our money. And if this drags out, we're going to lose a lot of money. They recognize the power and influence. But we don't recognize the power and influence. We want to worry about Gucci. I don't give a damn about Gucci. I don't give a damn about Hennessy. I don't give a damn about none of them companies. None of them companies. Now, I do care the fact that they using high-end, racism in order to get you to buy their stuff, because eventually you're going to go buy their stuff. That's what they counting on. That's what happens. That's why you ran back to H&M. That's why H&M built new in a mall that's filled with black people in this area of town. They went and built a whole new store. Why? Because they know you're going to keep shopping now. They know they put that little thing up there, got their shock value, and you can keep going. You're missing the point. We got to reverse this thing. We got to work together. Forget work together. I don't even, because I know how that shit works. I don't even work that way. Martin Luther King and Malcolm and Huey, they didn't try to get the masses of people get the masses of people to do it. They just needed a few. Most people, if you think about it, during the whole civil rights era, most black people wasn't walking, marching, fighting, arguing. Most black people were sitting at home doing whatever to get by. And then when it all happened, when it all went down, they were like, yes, but they weren't active. The Civil War, most people didn't want to involve themselves in war, but they were into it after. It took a few to get it started. The American Revolution, most Americans, most colonists back then, they were fine paying. They were a little pissed that they were paying the British taxes and they weren't getting the protection that they wanted. But they would have stayed British subjects. They wouldn't have fought a revolution. But a few people got it started. It only takes a few to get it started, and then the rest will come. I did a video about leadership a long time ago. I don't know if I can find that one, but it only takes a few to get it started. And then once the few get it started, and then people start coming, it is later on when people feel it's safe to join the movement that people jump on board. After the Civil Rights Bill was signed, that's when all the other black people jumped on board. Because now it's safe for them to do it. So all we need is a few. That's why I said going to Botswana, going to Haiti, going to Ghana, we only need a few 100,000 people. I mean, because we're talking about billions of black people around the world. But we only, or even, what, 24, 34, 30 million black people in America. I don't need 3, 4 million black people, 10 million black people to get involved. 100,000 black people. 100,000 black people start buying up communities, start building business in America, and then start doing trade across into the Caribbean and into Africa, and then it will start to build. It'll start to grow, and it'll become safe. And then when we create the banks, and we create our own banks, and we create all these other types of businesses that flourishes, in natural resources and things like that, then the rest will come along. So I'm not looking to gain the masses, just a few. So yeah, we got to stop getting caught up into this nonsense, y'all. We got to we get treated like children, basically. We got to stop we got to get to the adult table. Get to the adult table and stop sitting at the damn children's table. It's too long we've been sitting at the children's table. Now we got African countries that's ready to back black people. We got Caribbean countries that's ready to back black people. But we got to do our part as Americans and Europeans and Australian black people who have the ability to get that influence and get more money and buy communities and establish themselves in these already established countries, to have a subculture under the primary culture. We already in position to do that. We got to do that. Okay, do that. Get with the picture. Get with the picture. So, Colin Kaepernick, appreciate you, bruh. Get your money. I ain't got no problem with that. You stood up. A lot of guys didn't stand up. Appreciate you all day long. But all these other companies that's trying to use shock value to trick you black people, man, they tricking y'all. They tricking y'all. We can't fall for the okie doke. No. So thanks. I appreciate you guys for letting me have my rant right there. Been saving that up all day. Actually been saving that up for a few days. But been saving that up all day, all over the weekends when this thing happened on Friday. So y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. And these videos that's been up here for a second, go and click on those and check them out. And subscribe.